What will you hold in your hands when the night takes everything? The king asked the question once, aloud from his high tower, but he did not wait for an answer. He was a tall man in a heavy crown. His robes dragged like shadows. He had built walls so high the stars seemed low. He spoke with a voice that bent rooms to his will. People bowed. Merchants measured him in gold. He believed the world obeyed the weight of his certainty. On the night the market smelled of rain, an old gardener came to the gate carrying a single clay lamp. He had worked the palace gardens for 40 years and knew the land by its breath. He stood before the king and said very simply, "Tonight the river will move. Take care of the bridge." The king smiled as one smiles at the advice of weather. "We have engineers, we have stones. Bring me no small fears," he said, and the gardener bowed and left with his lamp held close. As dusk folded into full dark, small things slipped their moorings. A rope frayed, a bolt remembered, a guard who slept because the drum had not sounded. The river, which had slept for centuries under the rule of seasons, rose with a slow, terrible patience. It found the town's unsealed places first, the market, the mills, the low houses where children slept. The king watched from his tower as banners blurred in rain. He could not see the bridge until the lights below vanished. By the time he sent horsemen to the crossing, the water had already eaten the road. Messengers could not reach the garrison. Stones loosened from walls that had been thought eternal. Fire, born of a fallen lantern and wind, found old timber and sang a bright, hungry song. In one night the granaries flooded, the bridge collapsed, and the trust that stitched ruler to people frayed. The king stood with his crown. It was heavy then in a way it had not been in the morning. Not heavy with gold, but heavy with the knowledge of what words he had ignored. Morning came pale and honest. The gardener returned, lamp unbroken, and walked the ruined paths. He did not look at the crown. He swept a neighbor's doorway with careful hands. The king learned nothing fast. He learned only what the night had taught, that pride hears itself first, and the land speaks last. A ruler who will not listen keeps a kingdom full of silence. Listen, the old world says, before the small warning becomes a quiet grave. If you enjoyed this video, please like, share, and subscribe to the channel for more.